Well, good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Just wanted to come with a little bit of pre market analysis for you. Try to figure out what we're going to do today. It's been a little bit tough for me the last few trading days. I've not had the bias correct, and then I've had a hard time flipping when the bias became a little bit more evident. So need to work on that myself. Top up to the daily. Okay, so yesterday, Monday, was another sell off after that big one on Friday. This is starting to look more like a sustained sell sequence, and just sort of depends on what the objective is. So I would call us bearish on the daily. Certainly bearish on the 4 hour. No gaps to work off of up here until 661, which is about 300 points higher. So that's a little bit tough. But if we hop down to the 4 hour, we are rejecting off of or a 1 hour. We are rejecting off 1 hour gap here. And starting to try to inverse another. We've got open here in 2 minutes, so we'll see what it does. We have taken London high on both ES and NQ. Asia high would have been great to just kind of sweep all that liquidity before a run back down. But let's see what we get. This does a little bit look like an AMD, where Asia consolidated, London manipulated. And so if that is the case, then we would expect New York to distribute. So we'll keep an eye on that. $20 to open. What else was I gonna say? There was something else. I don't remember now. Oh, on the news front, we've got consumer confidence at 9 o'clock. We do have the Mexican president saying that she's close to a tariff deal. She aims to close a tariff deal with the U.S. by next Tuesday. So that could potentially be a catalyst. We'll have to see. We have a couple of Fed speakers, 11:45 and 1. And I think that's about it. Yeah, it's bouncing pretty good off of its PDL here. Let's see if it gets a sustained run higher. Would like to see a run back up to that in-walk. I think that'd be a good target. NQ quite a bit weaker here.
This is one of those moments where there's really a lot of uncertainty, and I have pretty strong views here. When you take it's a brew of tariffs. I mean, tariffs cannot be positive, okay? I mean, it's a tax. And you can imagine tit for tat if the U.S. does something, implements a tax on somebody, somebody else is going to, perhaps raise the stakes and raise their tax back. So taxes are never positive. On top of that, we have slowing immigration, which means the labor force will not grow as rapidly as previous over the last, say, 5 years. And so, and in addition, now you have Doge, right? And wherever you lay on the Doge issue, I mean, that's austerity. And austerity, when that money's been coursing through the economy over many years, and now potentially will be reduced or stopped in many ways, has got to be negative for the economy. So you have tariffs, you have I mean, I could see a situation where we think growth is going to slow to 1.5% from 2.5% in the second half, and yet unemployment the unemployment rate is actually going to go down, which because of slowing labor force. And so, I mean, there may be offsets in Doge, and that needs to be considered. But the reality is you've got a brew of sticky inflation, slowing growth, and austerity in the government. And so I'm actually pretty negative for the first time in a while. I don't think it's going to be a disaster, but I do think, given where investors lay, how committed they are to the markets today, that I think we're seeing a regime shift a little bit. And it may only last a year or so, but it's definitely a period where I think the best gains have been had, and
NQ and ES are a little bit decoupled here, with ES looking a little bit stronger. ES starting to come back down, but one was headed up, the other was headed down a second ago. It does look like NQ wants that London low down there at 287. We are cleared to trade 11 minutes into the open. Just not exactly sure what it wants to do yet. A little bit tough here. Yeah, see, there's ES buying back up a little bit. So you have to, when it's decoupled, you do have to be careful because you don't know what asset's leading necessarily. We have bearish sentiment. The last few days, pretty significant bearish sentiment. So you would probably lean more toward NQ, but you just don't know that for sure. Yeah, NQ looking pretty bearish here. But I mean, look at the 1 minute though. That's kind of ugly, you know. Yeah, it looks like NQ set it for London low. Didn't really get much of a retrace. You could have played that 5 minute order block, certainly. Although I don't think it ever actually retested, depending on where you put your sell at. It didn't quite get up to the OB. But nonetheless, perhaps a retrace or something. I think that's London low. Yep. On NQ. There was a 1 minute gap, but I think it inversed it actually. Yeah, it inversed the gap. I was eyeing that gap actually in my stop. I think I was putting it up at 46, maybe. Yeah, 46 above that OB. I thought that actually got tapped, but it doesn't look like it did. Well, let's see where we're going to go from here. Or ES has not got its London low yet, so I do have pardon me, an SMT off the bottom. NQ, I mean, quite a bit weaker here. It's off 65 basis points. NQ or ES off less than half that. So shorts will definitely be taken on NQ today. Let's hop up in time frame and start looking for some objectives down below. 245 is a liquidity point. Yeah, I mean nothing really on the daily until 9:44. So yeah, 9:40 is a big one. Then 7:54, and then 700. So we definitely have some room down there. I don't know if we have the fundamentals to get us down there today, but those are weekly objectives probably for sure if you're bearish. Which I think it's becoming harder and harder not to be at this point. Is it just gonna go straight down again like the last 3 trading days or so? How much room do we have to London low? We still have 8 points on ES to London low. So NQ definitely has some room here. All right, there's London low on ES as well. Man, this thing's moving. Am I missing something? I did this yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna aim for 114 on a short if I can get in somehow. ES did just take London low though, so we got to be a little bit careful. We do have a 1 minute gap about to form here on NQ. I'm not gonna mark it out for you. For y'all, you can see it.
Order filled.
All right, I'm short of the gap. Looks like I'm gonna get stopped though, because I'm keeping a tight stop. I just think this is too strong not to try to play a little bit. And given what we've done the last 2 days, it's just, even the first 1 minute, it's like, I'm just going to try it and see. But I think I'm going to get stopped out here because it is pretty tight. 22-point stop on a day like today.
Order filled.
Okay, there's first stop of the day. Naturally, I find the first big retracement, huh? Let's see what we get here. It's a pretty big buy up on ES. That's a big buy up. NQ trying to come up to, or is that ES? No, NQ coming up to this 5 minute gap here. So we'll look for a tap of the gap and a 1 minute inversion back down will be a pretty good play. NQ actually a little bit stronger on the buy up, I think, slightly. Need NQ to leave this 1 minute gap open. Really need it to tap that 5 minute. If we don't tap the 5 minute, then I don't think we're gonna get a play. Yeah, we're already inversing the 1 minute. That sucks. That is a BPR. That is a 5 minute BPR on ES. So I really like that play if it'll go up there and tap it, but I don't. But yeah, we've already inversed to 1 minute, so that kind of makes it a little bit tougher. Oh yeah, we've got that news here in 1 minute. Oh, right now. Consumer confidence a little bit lower than forecast, 98.3 versus 102.5 forecast.
I work in electronics.
Oh my gosh. You don't want to buy this knife, boys and girls. 942 is the target for now, or 940, yeah, somewhere in there. Jeez, this is nuts. This is just anarchy. No retracements, I mean there were, that's not true, but it's been incredibly one-sided. So good old good old fashioned revaluing right here. My goodness, this is nuts.
We have further SMT here. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. Yeah, no closure there, guys. No trade. No trade. William says he's already short. Bummer, dude. Am I Swedish? I actually, maybe. I might have a little bit of Swedish in me. I think I'm like mostly Norwegian, I want to say. I got like 4 or 5 different ethnic backgrounds. I should do like a little 23andMe. At least going off like what my parents always told me. I think I'm like Norwegian, German, Swedish. Maybe maybe not Swedish. I think, but that sounds right. And then I think Polish was the other one. Because we don't. I know that we'd always make jokes about us being Polacks. So yeah, Norwegian, German, Swedish, Polish, to my knowledge. But I've never done a DNA test, so that could be totally wrong.
So with this retracement into the 5-minute in queued gap, tapping the CE, this is a pretty typical setup for me. So I'll be looking for an inversion of this 1-minute gap for a continuation to the downside. We'll say this sort of binary um, that we see here is not ideal, but I will take regardless if we get a good close blow. No close yet. Of course. This is nuts. I guess I should fill y'all in on what I'm looking at right here. So I think this is the idea for now, especially if ES also inverses its 1 minute gap. It's a little bit low for me.
Order filled.
Well, a little bit low. I think I might have to be content with just one contract here. Definitely slow on the button. Gonna go break even there. Would like to see low a day, but would really like to see that SMT get invalidated down there at 49.44. but that'd be a pretty big pull. So we'll see.
Order filled.
Go ahead and take that off there and just grab the win. Given my performance this week. So I was short at the 91s. Yeah. Way too low. And I was looking for a low a day pretty much, but took it off a little bit early at this low, at the relative low right there. Or a little bit above that, it looks like. Anyway, it's a fine trade. This is exactly what I was worried about happening. Just was wanting to get the win, I think, on the day. So break my losing streak and get on with it, kind of thing. I should have been short from up here somewhere at the 100s ish. Been a lot better RR. I mean, so that was my fault. I hesitated, and that's been a theme here lately, just with this losing streak. I think kind of affecting my psychology a little bit. But I've got to remember, I'm pretty happy with myself in playing defense here lately. My losses, I'm not letting my losses get real big. I'm just it just has felt like death by a thousand cuts here lately. But I think that's probably how it should feel in an environment that you don't perform well in, which has been certainly the last 3 days is not my cup of tea. And so just kind of thinking about it, reflecting on it, that probably is how it should feel. Knowing that it won't be death by a thousand cuts. It's just a losing streak, and you're keeping your losers small. And so I think that's probably a good thing, and something I'll continue to focus on until conditions return that are more favorable for me. I'm not saying they're not favorable conditions; they're just not favorable for me. I don't perform well in these sort of one-sided, little to no retracements. And that kind of thing. Even when I tried to hop in short this morning, I somehow found the only retracement up to that point, pretty much. I think I was short right here, or the tight stop. So again, I managed. I think I managed the trade pretty well. Maybe I could have had my, a larger stop, but I think ES had just taken London low, and so there were some reasons for it. But ended up being a heavy morning. Got some consolidation and a run up into the 5 and ultimately the 15. Yeah, on NQ, and then a pretty good sell down, giving us the cue to go short, but we didn't. That was not executed very well, and so that's something I got to think about as also and kind of reflect on. So work on executing a little bit better. But I think that I'll probably stay on for just a little bit longer, but that probably is going to be my only trade for the day. I want to stay green. That's going to help me, I think, with psychology. Let's see where we're at on the daily. We have an SMT off the bottom here, between ES and NQ. But I don't think, you also want SMTs to align with your bias. That's the thing. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of people miss on SMTs. They just see the SMT and they're like, oh, okay, well, here goes the rally long or the sell down short. And it needs to align with your bias. And so if you're not bullish, then this SMT to me doesn't mean a lot unless you're going to try to play a counter trend. And if that's your thing, then by all means, just make sure your risk, your management is according to that. We are coming into this pretty large support area gap on NQ. That's going to be something to pay attention to. I mean, look how many times. Look. It's been holding this up since November, middle of November. So that's going to be a big area of interest here. And what do we do in this zone? Now the zone is 500 points big. So a lot of room, but and this sell-off is, we haven't seen a sell-off like this into this zone. So if I would say if this breaks, that's probably pretty bearish. If we get a solid close underneath. So I think that's about it. But like I said, I'll stay on for just a little bit longer. Not interested in any more trades, probably. Again, just want to take my winner and leave it at that. We are coming back to retest this 1 minute inversion that was pretty important that we kind of laid out earlier that held us up for as long as it did. Boom, 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 and then a rally, manipulation up, and then a distribution down. So we'll see where it goes from here. If it doesn't take the low day, that kind of probably signals that, I don't know, maybe conditions aren't great. So something to keep in mind. Hey, drop a comment also if you're in the chat. Would love to see it. It's hard to just keep talking on here without anybody to dialogue with. So if you are in there, I would love to hear from you. I try to keep an eye on the chat the best I can.
I hope you all are doing well. You're going to be watching a new style of video that I'm going to be doing as often as possible. I am at a new spot now where I want to be sharing more about my day-to-day life, certain processes that I go through which are directly related to my trading. So I'm going to be filming a lot more. Anything that I think that's going to come as value to you, my trades, my process, anything I'm journaling, if I'm helping someone else, I'm gonna film it, document it here, share it on YouTube, and that's where you're gonna find it as often as I can. So this will be the first of many, and we're just gonna get right into it now. I'm gonna be going over my 2 trades from today. This has been a week where I'm looking at different markets. I'm usually exclusively trading indices, but if you haven't seen, the past few weeks have been extremely unfavorable, really on the higher time frames. If you look on the daily, just really going back and forth inside of a range and not delivering very well, which for me, if the daily is not clear, not giving me a narrative or a bias, then I can't do anything with it. I can't move forward from there because that's the foundation of my system and what makes my trades work. So since there's been an extended period of it being unfavorable, I started to look towards other markets, gold, oil, major Forex pairs like Euro and GU. And today I actually found 2 trades, one short on gold and then one long on GBP USD, which is just 6B on the futures contracts, which is what I trade. And I'm going to be going over these 2 in specific as well because the higher time frame framework is so simple and so clear, and that's what creates these good trades. That's what I'm chasing in these markets. So it's a very repeatable and replicable framework. That's why I want to share with you here. And I'm just going to go top down. So let's just get right into the charts. I'm going to start here on gold and just mark out that weekly opening day. Now, Monday and Tuesday's daily candle are getting blended into the same one because there was a bank holiday, and I'm doing this on the futures chart, and that's why you're going to see it this way. But this is the weekly opening, and I know it's not actionable initially because I have a failure swing off the low here. And then I also have failure swing off the high. And I'm pretty much waiting for one of these sides of the market to be engaged. I can't trade this higher, can't trade it lower. And today we have that first point being reached up into that external high of the range. It's a Thursday, so within the weekly range context, there's a Monday or Tuesday low. I can counter that back into the range. I know we've engaged that relevant high. There's nothing else beyond that point that I need to be thinking of. We have a manipulation. Now I just want that daily profile alignment. In here, looking at this, there is the daily open, trading higher initially up into that high, and then that is plenty that I need to see where we have a London reversal, and then I would assume a New York continuation. So Asia session trading higher, London potential reversal. If I break this down to a 15-minute, you have a run of a short-term high and then a change in state of delivery noted here with this close. So looking back on this, when I'm coming to my charts during New York, looking back, daily profile is aligned with a London reversal. I'm going to look for a continuation signature, and the first one that I have is these up close candles being formed. Assuming the market's already in a continuation, I expect up close candles that are closed below to be held within this trend. So if I'm right, now we have this 15-minute close below, another run of a short-term high, stop loss goes at this high here, and I can set up that short on this close, selling the open of this candle. I don't need a retest, and I'm looking for at least 1.5R. That is that trade here. Now I know this can go farther. We have an obvious swing here. That would be an objective, but this was actually my first time ever opening an actual trade on gold. I've done analysis on it in the past, but this is my first time actually executing on it. And I took my 1.5R, a very simple trade in the continuation, taken out here. And that is all it is. It's daily time frame, looking for that framework, getting confirmation in the daily profile, and then trading that continuation signature, focus on the New York session. That's a quick 1.5R trade. Now I'm going to move over to GBP USD, and I'll cover that trade as well. Here on GU, I'm going to do the exact same thing, marking out Monday so you can see that weekly open, because every new week I'm reestablishing my bias, going into it with a fresh perspective. Monday, not a trading day. Tuesday, range within Monday's candle, so I'm looking and moving that over to Wednesday. We have a potential reversal taking place, so that intra-week low being run out on Wednesday, and I could look towards Thursday to potentially be a continuation, because when I look within Wednesday's candle on the hourly, I want to see a confirmation that that reversal is taking place so I can actually trade away from that low. And we have this series of down close candles running into that low, closed above here. and that is my change in state of delivery. Now I have a Wednesday low, assuming a Thursday continuation to the upside. If I just go back out to the daily, we're just continuing that trend. Now, this was also valid on Euro as well, and it actually had a really nice follow through. Some swings above that are acting as targets. Wednesday being a reversal, Thursday continuation. I just took GU on this because when we get to this entry signature, it was a little bit better defined, and overall it's just been relatively stronger. So if I go here, reversal confirmation, new day open, and this is a different type of daily profile where if I'm trading the New York session and we've already started that continuation here, I'm just looking for that first continuation signature, which after 7 o'clock on Forex, I'm going to use as New York. I'm going to drop down to a 30-minute, and here, so if I go here, reversal confirmation, new day open, and this is a different type of daily profile where if I'm trading the New York session and we've already started that continuation here, I'm just looking for that first continuation signature, which after 7 o'clock on Forex, I'm going to use as New York. I'm going to drop down to a 30-minute. And here I can see my entry signature being formed and being offered. We have a down close candle being formed, running out a short-term low at 7, a new close above, and I love it when it's offered on this higher time frame. Close above, taking an entry within this next candle, and I actually got a really good fill on this. Stop loss goes at the opposing swing on that opposing candle or a down close candle because I'm assuming the market's in a continuation to the upside. Now we have plenty of room to get higher, and I took one partial off here and then another up here for a 2.5R trade, and that is more than I need. And if you can just see, these are super simple setups. This is why I'm looking at different markets while indices are trading a bit odd, because these are things that you can look at immediately and find opportunity. And that's why what I just went through, when you can find that in a market that you trade, that's golden, and that's what you want to be trading. So because the market just closed, I'm going to be doing some analysis for what my plan is tomorrow and sending that out to the people in my group. And we're just going to be looking for simple setups. I want to have trading days where I can look in the previous day, and that's setting up something for me to go into for tomorrow, because I want to have a set plan, something that I can follow, knowing yes, you have a trade because this happened, or no, I don't have a trade because it didn't align with my plan. So I'm going to go into the charts now, send some things out, and I'll share what I'm looking for going into tomorrow. These are the two setups that are looking good. So Euro here, it looks valid for a continuation signature higher. Friday, looking for a continuation to these two failure swings in respect to previous day's range. We just closed above these down closed candles, assuming that should support price in the continuation. I'm just using daily profile as a confirmation. So for now, just an idea, but then we look over to NQ as well. Something somewhat similar, again, a continuation idea, ranged price action, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, creating a reversal, closing back into the range on the daily candle. So I'm looking for, in respect to previous day wick, a potential continuation higher into the opposing side of the range. Now, these are all ideas, and they actually turn actionable with an alignment of a bullish daily profile in respect to these invalidation points that I have set. Here we got a long going in on NQ. This is from the analysis yesterday. Price is in respect to that invalidation point and giving a bullish daily profile. And this is the continuation signature. After the reversal confirmation here, we're looking for the continuation signature and a 1.5R to 2R trade. And I'm gonna see how this plays out for the rest of the day. And this is really where I like to enter. It is about 7 o'clock where I got that entry, and my best trades are going to come around this time. Here we got a long going in on NQ. This is from the analysis yesterday. Price is in respect to that invalidation point and giving a bullish daily profile, and this is the continuation signature. After the reversal confirmation here, we're looking for the continuation signature and a 1.5R to 2R trade, and I'm gonna see how this plays out for the rest of the day. And this is really where I like to enter. It is about 7 o'clock where I got that entry, and my best trades are gonna come around this time. And then if I get that luxury to hold through the open at 9:30, I'm really gonna be taking that as an advantage. So we'll see if that's offered. If not, it's very possible that this trade can work out. Prior to that, I'll probably be scaling out just before the open because obviously anything can happen. But this is the trade for today. I don't think I'm going to have any focus anywhere else. So we'll come back around to see where this trade ends up. For these times, I really do my best to stay as composed as possible and just looking for what I need to do in the moment, because every second the market is giving me some form of information. Should you hold longer? Should I just fully close this position, end my day here? And this is what I'm tracking now. I'm going to be looking back and forth between pairs ES and NQ. Very correlated. I know ES right now is slightly weaker, so if that starts pulling through, NQ is going to take off. So I'm tracking both of these things, especially as it's hitting objectives, going into the open, these volatility drivers, and that's going to sway the way I manage this trade. But for now, it's a secured win. It just depends how much I can take from it. It is now several hours later from that last clip that you just saw. So today's obviously Friday. It's nighttime now, and there's a few things that I wanted to point out that I think are super important in my personal routine that I want to share with you. And the first is that what you're seeing right now is that when I'm trading in the morning, I care about my active trading, executing my plan, and then I stop for the middle of the day. I don't start journaling, I don't start reflecting, I don't think much about what's happening in the market. I execute in the morning. That's where I'm focused on, that early New York work session. Once I'm done and I know I'm not trading for the rest of that day, I have no more opportunity, I'm skipping to later in the day. I want to have a fresh perspective before I think about anything in my trading performance related, and I want to be coming back around later in the day when I don't feel any type of way about the market. I don't care much of what happened before, and now I can go back into the market or back into at least my trades, the decisions that I made, and then really reflect, fully honest with myself and fully unbiased about what was going on. So that's what I'm about to do now. And earlier today, I had that one trade. And the second thing that I really wanted to point out is that you notice that I took a winning trade alongside my plan on a day where now I'm going to look back on it. The entire day went against my initial bias. I was bullish going into the day, and today went bearish pretty significantly. So I was looking to the upside, and the market went completely against what I was looking for. Yet I followed my plan, executed my trade, and saw what the market was offering me, reacted to it, managed accordingly, and I came out on a winning day when you can look back on it and say, oh, it looks like something crazy must have went wrong. No, I just followed my plan. And you can be wrong and still make money. That's something that I think, of course, I wanted my trade to work out, but it's nice to show these things because this is the reality. You're not always going to get home run trades, but you can see how my process got me through it. And I think it's a super important lesson because it's going to happen probably more than you assume. Quickly getting into the charts, I'm going to talk about how I actually arrived at my plan. Why was I looking to the upside? We can obviously see price traded lower, and that's especially important why I'm doing this later in the day, because this doesn't matter to me. I'm reflecting on my plan itself. Was it logical, and is it going to hold up over time where it works out more in my favor versus in times when it doesn't? And when I was looking at this market here, we have Monday/Tuesday. It's blended into one candle again because there's a bank holiday on Monday. Wednesday ranged within Monday/Tuesday's daily candle. Thursday comes in, trades below that intra-week low, and that here is a manipulation closing aggressively back into the range. There I have an opposing draw of these two failure swings, and then if I zoom out even more for added context, we have this high here left open on NQ that can be drawn into. I'm also going to look at ES to see if there's anything else it's telling me or if it disagrees with this. But we also, again, have a high that price can be drawn into. So I'm fairly confident in this framework. This is very high quality, looking to the upside. I used 50% of that wick, wanting that to be respected here. If a daily profile, a bullish one, forms above this level here on Friday, that turns this into an actionable trade. That's my confirmation piece. I'm going to go down to the 15-minute. Here we have Friday opening up, making a shallow